Hey guys, my name is Kiersten, and I am the Oyster Shell Recycling Technician AmeriCorps member for CRCL, and I'm here today to help answer some of your frequently asked questions about our shell recycling program. Our first question is, what is the purpose of an oyster shell recycling program? So our program actually serves two purposes, the first of which is to keep oyster shells out of landfills, the second of which is to return those shells back to suitable oyster habitat in our waters. This allows us to not only limit the amount of non-biodegradable shell in our landfills, but also to encourage the growth of oyster reefs. Oysters are a naturally reef-building species, and oyster larvae, which is what oysters are called when they're babies, float around in the water column looking for something hard to settle down on, and recycled oyster shells provide the perfect place to do that in the muddy waters of South Louisiana. Our second question is, why are oysters so important to coastal restoration in Louisiana? Supporting oyster reefs has two distinct impacts on the surrounding ecosystems. The first component of this is structural. Oyster shell is incredibly durable and can absorb wave energy before it hits the shorelines, acting kind of like a speed bump. This keeps valuable sediment from being washed away by repetitive wave action. The second component is ecological. Oyster reefs provide a 3D habitat for many other commercially and ecologically important species at various different life stages. Any one oyster shell can be home to hundreds of barnacles, worms, fish fry, the list goes on and on. As adult oysters begin to grow on these reefs, they can help filter the water as they feed, purifying up to 50 gallons of water a day, which is incredible for the local water quality. Our third question is, why do you have to put the oysters back? Why can't they just repopulate on their own? And the answer to this is that our water in Louisiana is not what we call spat limited, meaning that we have plenty of baby oysters floating around, but we are culch limited, meaning they don't have anywhere hard to settle down. Providing substrate for them allows them to start rebuilding reefs where we need them the most. So by now you might be wondering, how do oysters get from restaurants back to the water? We at CRCL partner with 18 restaurants around the city of New Orleans who are committed to supporting coastal restoration. We also partner with Phoenix Recycling, who picks up the shell from those restaurants and delivers it to our shell curing site in Buras, Louisiana. This is where it cures for 6 months to a year, allowing for the sun and the birds to make sure that the shells are clean enough to be put back in the water. We then have our volunteers come and help us put this shell into aquaculture-grade mesh bags, after which they will be deployed whenever we have a reef project ready to roll. Now you might be wondering, if I eat oysters, how do I know the shells will get back to you? And how else can I help? By patronizing one of our 18 partner restaurants listed here, you can be sure that any oysters you eat on the half shell will make their way back to Louisiana waters. You can also help out by volunteering at one of our volunteer bagging events or by becoming a member. Visit crcl.org to learn more.